Hello there fellow modelers, Steve here, and today's video is going to be a shout out for a lad from Derby who I've just discovered. Progress on me Catalina for the flying boat group build, me Bell X1 for Frankie's historical aircraft group build, an announcement of another group build which I've sent a message to, so hopefully knows that I'm going to do it, and a review of me kit that I'm going to do for Aston 1965 Charlie's World War I group build. Now I haven't made a video for about 2 weeks, I think. I forget what the last, it was when I revealed me finished Focke-Wulf for Russell Gosling's D-Day group build. By the way, I watched the finale on Sunday. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. All the work, and a good shout out for Mike, Nigel, Mark and Gav who put it all together, and it was just superb. I was hooked. I even watched it again last night. I might watch it again tonight. I know you Mike's watched it about 5 times, but it's just all the models and all the guys who did it, just fantastic. And I like the bit, I don't know whether this is, I know Gav put the history in of the Shepton Sands tragedy, but where it had the model and then showed you a picture of the real thing as it blended in. I thought that was really good. It was a really good touch, that. Right, so we'll go on to, and it's a nice sunny evening here in the UK. I'm hoping to do an outside broadcast when I get my garden tidied up, because it's a bit of a tip at the moment. It's like a jungle right at the top. I think Tarzan swung through it at one time. But anyway. Right, we'll start off with me shout out. Now I've discovered this lad on the internet. He's called Ben Cross. Hi there, Ben. He's from Derby. And so far I know that he's did 14 videos of various things he's doing. I know at the moment he's doing a Heinkel 111 in 1/32 scale. Massive. For, I think it's I don't know exactly who it is, but it's for the 100 years of bombers. He's actually doing it for a mate of his, but that's the entry of his, and that looks fantastic. He's done, I think he's up to the interior at the moment, and he showed us the pilot's cockpit, and that is just out of this world. I can't fault it. It's just great. Detail in it is amazing. So go and check Ben out. I've watched a few more of his videos when he moved out of into his man cave, which was his daughter's bedroom, and he did mention that he's going to change the wallpaper because it's a bit girly, but hopefully he gets something put up. So check out Ben Cross, because he's did some good models. I'm trying to think what else he's did. I can't think of that. I get this, I think, right, I'm going to say this, and it just goes straight out of my head. It goes right out the window because all the window open. I'm trying to think what else he's did. Oh well, anyway, check him out, because he's a good model and he's a good lad. Right, progress. First off, I'll start off with me Catalina for Chancellor North Wales and Radsky 76's flying boat, seaplane, whatever group build. Now what I'm doing is, I think I mentioned this the last time, because the big plank wing, I'm leaving it off, because when you put it onto the fuselage there isn't any grooves that need filling in the top. So I've painted, in fact, that the top wing is nearly done, but I've just got the fuselage to do now, and there's only one problem on it. I don't know whether anybody else has found this out, but Humbrol White Matte 34, it seems to be very thick. Now I know a lot of you guys use airbrushes, but for the ones that use the hand brush, do you water it down? Because I've painted it white before, but it's only been small amounts. It's never been as much as, well, you know, the Catalina has a very long wing. Now previously I've used it's in a box somewhere. The primer spray, but I really couldn't do it with this because it would go all over the place. But it seems to be went on very thick, and it seems to be it's okay. But if you see it close up, you'll spot the run marks. So what I'm going to have to do is I've thought about it for a while. I'm going to have to invest in an airbrush to try and go to the next level, because you do, I mean, I've seen all you guys who use airbrushes, and you do get a much better finish. Some of you have the skill to do brush painting equally as fantastic, and I tap my hat off to you. I mean, I can do brush painting to a certain extent, but like I say, with the white, it was just too thick and it went on like tar. If you've seen it close up, you would think, what the hell have you done there? So the next one, which if I don't get the airbrush, is the Liberator 4 Tactical Jackalopes Reggae Group build. A lot of that is white, so I'm going to just test it on a bit of plastic and thin it down a bit to see if that'll work. But like I say, I'm going to have to invest in an airbrush. That's my next thing to treat myself. Right, well, we'll start off with the Catalina. Right, I'll move my camera. Right, here we are. And as you can see there, the top wing is done, and I've tried to match the colour for what it is. It's like I would say it's a midnight blue, but I got a midnight blue on the Humbrol range and it didn't look right. So I've just tried, hold on a minute, I'll see what it is. It's matte 25 or matte 24. It's just matte 25, matte blue. The midnight blue was, the nearest I could find was Azure Blue 157, and it just didn't look right at all. But when I got got the coat on, it matched the colour scheme on the bit of pull out that I've got. We'll just go in a bit there, and as you can see, I've just got a bit of touching up to do on the yellow wing tips and the bit of that's the de-icing boot. Now I'll see if you can see the underside of it. See, it looks okay when you're seeing it that way, but I'm looking at it now and I can see all the brush marks, and it does look a bit terrible, but it'll pass. Like I say, airbrush is the next one. So that's what it'll look like. It's a they used them during the war, the US Army Air Force, but they were used, I think, up to the Korean War. So I'm just going to do it in United States Air Force markings, because I found a Revell Doer 1/48th scale, or the did. It's probably discontinued now, and I found that. Oh, sorry about the cough. I found that on eBay, and I've just got a picture of that. I'm going to download it just for reference material, really. So that's the wing, and the fuselage, like I says, that's coming along, and it's took us a while to mask the cockpit. I think it took us about 3/4 of an hour to do it. I'll just put because that's nearly finished. Where's the there? It really took some time, that, but hopefully I'll do it. It'll turn out a good job. So that's that one there. We'll put that back over there. And the next one I've got is for Frankie Day's Historical Aircraft Group build. Now he started it's a mini May. I don't know what, I'll have to look it up, but there's a lot of other people. I mean, Charlie's doing one, he's doing a P-38, and there's another lad I've subscribed to, I can't remember his name. He's did a Lockheed Electra that was flown by Amelia Earhart, and that turned out brilliant. A fantastic kit, and a really beautiful aeroplane as well. So here's me Bell X1 flown by Chuck Yeager. I've got the grey primer on, and it's just got to be painted, which is a bright orange, which is there. I decided against doing the clear version because you can do a one where you can use the clear fuselage and you can see all the inside parts, but I've decided against it. Now I'll see if I can get a bit of a close-up of the cockpit, because there is a fair bit of detail in. Don't know if you can see that. I painted them with my small brush that I've got, which helps. It's good. But that's turned out okay, that. Now it doesn't have a pilot, so just what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of plasterboard, probably about that big. Make it like a runway, like the same thing that I did for me Focke-Wulf, and get a pilot out of me spares box. I've got some NATO pilots that look possibly like Chuck Yeager. I think he had an orange flight suit on, but I'll have to research that again. But anyway, that's coming along fine. So what have I got now? Oh yes, I've got, I'll put it back up there. This is me entry for, well, for Charlie's World War I group build, and it's that Revell 1/72nd scale Albatross D3. Now I'll do a review of this because it starts, I've got a list of all the group builds in there. It starts on the 20th of July, which is 27 days time. So I'll do a review of that later. And that looks a very colourful kit. It's a tiny kit, but it should be okay, and it's biplanes. I'm not going to attempt any rigging. Not a chance, not on something like this. I've got plans to do some rigging for something else that I'm going to do. So I'll do a review of that later on in the month. Now I've got a couple of things here for another group build that that's been announced, that starts in middle September, and it's run by Fernando Dutour. I hope I pronounced that right. Everybody else knows him as Freddy, and he's doing a Pacific group build. Fantastic subject. Now I want to know if you can, if you watch this, or I'll send you a message later on tonight, if New Guinea was part of the Pacific campaign, because I know the Australians fought a lot there, because I've got a kit in my stash that would match that. But otherwise, if it's not encountered with the Pacific group of operations, Pacific area of operations, I have this. Now I've got to get the markings for them yet, but I know where to get them from. And it's this, which is a North American B-25 Mitchell. But I'm going to do it as a Marine Corps PBJ. Now I've got the markings on a website called Kits World that I got the German swastikas from. And it's got the markings for a PBJ called the Devil Dog, which I think is, I mightn't be right, is nicknames for Marines, Devil Dogs. But this is an all blue PBJ and it looks good. But this is an old Airfix tooling. You can tell when you see it, the pilots are terrible. There's I think there's, you can get 4 marks there, 4 versions. One's got solid nose, one's got a glazed nose, a bit of a shorter nose. But I think it was the B-25. Might have been the H or the J that was equivalent to a PBJ. No, I did a Mitchell, I think it was last year for, it was USA aircraft of the 20th century, and that was the Doolittle Raider. But of course it was an earlier version, had the turret on the middle, not above there, but the PBJ has the turret there. But that should be good, that'll be a good group build, that Pacific. And this one, which starts, when is it for, this is Cohen Mike Kursk group build, which is going to be good. This starts 4 days time, which is Monday, I think. Now I've already reviewed, or I think I have, the GU87 Stuka with the 2 cannon underneath the wings. Now I'm doing a little diorama, and it's going to be attacking a T-34, and that's the T-34 that I've got, a Revell 176 scale, and it's the 76 model, which is the earlier one, which I think will be okay for Kursk. 1943. I know Charlie's did one for Fall of the Reich, and his was the 85, which was the later version. I'm not that up on armour, but if you can correct us, Mike, fair enough. But that's the one that I'm doing. I did the Sherman for me D-Day group build, and that was the 172nd scale. So hopefully I've got a bit of experience, but I'll be able to do something a bit different, and it'll be better, especially the tracks. I'm not even going to bother painting them. But these is like a silver colour, and they're meant to be that colour. So I'll do a review of that later on, because I'll do the Stuka first, and I haven't figured out what the diorama's going to be. Right, so what I want to do now is, now Chancellor North Wales, alright there Len, he's announced a World War I community build, which will go for 5 years. Now there's a lot of people been mentioning this, and I think it's a really good idea to commemorate the First World War, because at the beginning of the D-Day finale, Mike was saying that it's sort of a war that's missed. Everybody thinks of the Second World War as covered variedly. Later wars, Vietnam, Korea, the Gulf, even the Falklands, but World War I seems to be ignored. There is a few biplane kits about, but not very much. So what I'm going to try and do is do one. I mean, I'll not, well, the one I'm doing this year is the Albatross, but starting from next year I'm going to try and pick a kit that's relevant for that year. Now I've already got one which will do for 1918, but I'll get it out when I've got the others. And I've got in mind a one for 1916, and I've also got in one mind for 1915, but 17 is a bit of a blank area. I'll have to have a check with that. But the 1915 and the 1916, I'll have to order them off eBay. So that will be like a sort of a 5-year thing. So that'll be a good build, that. Right, so that's me done for today. Don't forget, have a look at Ben Cross, good modeler. He's got 14 videos, and I'm trying to think what he's did. He showed his man cave, his Heinkel that he's did, and he did a review of all the models that he's did. He's been on ISM, but now he's just moved to YouTube. I'm trying to think what he did. Come on, Steve, think. I'll have to watch them. Oh, something else I forgot as well. Aaron Newlands community build, which is my Helldiver. And I mean, this doesn't finish till December the 31st. But already I've got a lot of it done. Just bits and bobs. I mean, there's the inside. Now, what I'm going to try and do is fill up the inside, because you just join the inside together. There's 2 pilots. There's the pilot and the gunner, a gun and a seat, and that's it. Now, I've seen what Panzerman Bill, okay there Bill, what he did for his Helldiver. I think it was for my carrier group build. He filled the inside up with loads of framework, bulkheads. So I'm gonna have a gun at trying doing the same to make it a bit more, because there's with it being very big cockpits, you can see in it, so it should be very visible. So I'm going to try that. But that's ongoing at the moment. So that's me good. What's the time now? 5 to 8. I'll probably download this tomorrow, so it should be on. And I can't think of anything else to say. I'm stuck. Clean me brushes, do a bit with me Catalina, and then I go downstairs. Right. So, all you guys out there in YouTube land, stay safe, keep modelling, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.